Chapter 81 Setting up a stall at the door and taking turns to sign orders. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Arriving at the gate of the industrial park, Li Shen pushed the lunch box outside the industrial park, but stopped inside the gate of the industrial park, waiting for the employees to buy lunch after get off work, and the first one to pass by was him. Of course, he was able to do this inside the industrial month because he spent some money and bought a pack of cigarettes for the security guard. And he promised to only sell lunch boxes inside for a few days. He pasted an A4 paper with the price written on it in front of the paper shell. Boy, what kind of food is this? Sell it for 15 yuan a portion. Before the employees who got off work came over, the security guard came over first. Li Shen saw that the person who came was the security guard, and hurriedly took out a box of lunch and a box of vegetables from the paper shell box and handed it over. Uncle, this is the food in our cafeteria, you can try it. It's too expensive, I don't eat it. The security guard waved his hand and didn't take the lunch box. Uncle, look at you, you come to my place, can I still charge you money? Don't worry about eating, the staff will come over later, you help me advertise. Li Shen didn't wait for the security guard to refuse, and directly stuffed the lunch box into the security guard's hand. The security guard looked at the lunch box in his hand and laughed happily. Okay, I know a lot of those guys, I'll help you promote them. The security guard said as he opened the lunch box. When he saw the dishes inside, he was stunned. 2 dishes in one lunch box, one is braised pork, and the other is sauce chicken, not to mention the aroma that hit him. The amount of food alone was enough to surprise him. The braised pork was good pork belly at first glance, half fat and half lean, and the portion was full, at least 10 pieces. There was also braised pork in those lunch boxes outside, but it was good to have 4 or 5 pieces of meat in one serving, and it was mostly fat, and the pieces were not as big as this. The other half of the chicken nuggets were the same, and the portion was quite large. This box of food alone costs 15 yuan, which is not expensive at all. He picked up a piece of braised pork with chopsticks and tasted it. It tasted better than those fried pork in restaurants. The gatekeeper had a big appetite, and hurriedly put the lunch box with food on a stone step, sat down, opened the lunch box with rice, and started eating. After a while, a chaotic sound came from a distance, and from a distance, only heads were seen rushing towards this side from a distance. Obviously those factories were off work. Soon the group of people came here, and most of them took a look and left directly, but soon someone came over and asked curiously, "Brother, what cuisine?" Li Shen was about to answer, but a voice spoke before him. "Braised pork and sauce chicken, look at the amount of meat and vegetables, there are much more than outside, and the taste is delicious. 15 yuan is not a loss at all. Buy it, I can't cheat you." The security guard said while showing the dishes in his lunch box to the employee who asked. The employee saw that it was the security guard who asked, and he no longer hesitated. "Give me 1 portion of that." Li Shen smiled when he heard it, but did not take the lunch box immediately, but said something. "There are 6 dishes in our lunch boxes: braised pork, sauce chicken, fried tenderloin, 4 happiness meatballs, braised pork slices, and Beijing sauced pork shreds. 2 dishes in one lunch box, and they are packed randomly, so you can't be sure which dish you buy. Okay, just give me 1 portion, I'm tired of those outside, try something new." The employee didn't hesitate and directly put the money in Li Shen's hand. Seeing this, Li Shen also happily handed over a box of rice and a box of vegetables. The employee took a meal and sat next to the security guard and started eating. His dishes are braised pork and fried tenderloin. Seeing how he wolfed down the food, it was obvious that the food suited his taste very well. More and more people were leaving work. And with the security guard on the side, 32 boxes of food and 38 boxes of lunch were sold out in less than 20 minutes. And on the stone steps next to Li Shen, a row of people were sitting and eating lunch boxes. Li Shen simply packed up the cardboard boxes and pushed the cart back to the company cafeteria. 32 portions, minus the portion for the security guard. Sold a total of 31 portions, plus 6 extra boxes of lunch, each sold for 1 yuan. The total income was 471 yuan. This was just one meal. If I count my lunch, I can sell about 900 yuan a day. As for breakfast, forget it. After all, Breakfast is simple, with fried dough sticks, soy milk, buns, and pies. There is not much left over from these breakfasts, and they are too mixed and difficult to sell, but 900 yuan a day is not bad. In the future, the canteen can save at least 20,000 yuan a month, Li Shen thought to himself, and finally felt more at ease. Mr. Chen transferred him to the purchasing logistics. For such a long time, he has been doing nothing. How can he live up to Mr. Chen's trust? Although the 20,000 yuan is nothing to Mr. Chen, but this is just a small step for him. He still has to do more for Mr. Chen and the company. Time passed, half a month passed in a flash. In the clothing factory office, Chen Mo looked at the performance report in front of him and rubbed his head with a headache. Another 200,000 yuan order, that is it going to end? For some reason, the three newcomers in the sales department took turns to sign orders in the past half month. The orders were not big, almost all of them were small orders of more than 100,000 yuan, the largest one was Wu Yu's 300,000 yuan order. Today, another 200,000 yuan order was signed. Although the orders are not big, they are many. Wu Yu alone has more than 700,000 orders, the other two are a little less, but together, the two have more than 600,000 orders. With this calculation, there are more than 1.3 million orders in total, but these three people are obviously just three newcomers with no experience. How could they start taking orders so quickly? One order, two orders, can be said to be a matter of luck, but these orders can't be said to be luck. The more Chen Mo thought about it, the more he felt something was wrong, and he always felt a chill on his back. Could it be that Lao Lu was doing this again? Thinking in his heart, he looked up and greeted Shenro. Shenro, go check if Wu Yu and his people are in the sales department. If they are, ask them to come to the office. Okay, Mr. Chen. Shenro got up and walked out of the office. Not long after, Wu Yu walked in with two new people from the sales department. Mr. Chen, are you looking for me? Wu Yu looked at Mr. Chen in the office and asked nervously. This was the first time Mr. Chen called him to talk. Chen Mo glanced at the three people and greeted them with a smile. Don't be nervous, sit down. I see you have received a lot of orders recently. Have you found any way? Chapter 82. Mr. Chen thinks we are not working hard enough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mr. Chen, this is all thanks to my master. A while ago, I went to Tsangshui Games to ask my master Guang Guang some experience in running business. After listening to it, my master actually shared all the customers he had with us. It is precisely because of these customer sources that we have received so many orders. But what's more important is the quality of the clothes produced in our factory. When Wu Yu heard Mr. Chen's inquiry, he hurriedly recounted his visit to Tsangshui Games for advice. If the master hadn't given him so many customers, the newcomers wouldn't have been able to take so many orders, so he had no intention of taking all the credit. After all, the master shared something as important as the customer base with them, so he naturally wanted to take credit for the master in front of Mr. Chen, Wu Yu's master. Isn't that Wei Yan? It turned out to be this rebel. It's really generous, sharing all the customers that I have accumulated for many years. I've transferred you to Tsangshui Game, and you can still cause trouble for me. Chen Mo covered his chest. He felt that if he continued like this, he would be so angry that he would have a heart attack. Okay, I understand the matter. You can go back first. Chen Mo waved his hand feebly. Upon hearing this, Wu Yu stood up and left the office, returned to the business department. Luo Yuan looked at Wu Yu and said doubtfully. I just saw Mr. Chen's expression, and he seemed a little unhappy. Indeed, I'm a little unhappy. Wu Yu nodded when he heard this, and he also noticed the change in Mr. Chen's expression. When he first entered the office, Mr. Chen's expression was still very kind. The time of change should be when he said that the master would give him all his customers. That's right, just when he said that the master would give him all the customers, Mr. Chen's expression began to change. Why is this? Wu Yu fell into deep thought, and soon his eyes lit up. He felt that he had figured out the reason. He looked at his two colleagues and said, I think Chen always felt like we weren't trying hard enough. Ah, but we have already received so many orders. Another salesperson, Kai Jing, said in confusion. That's because we thought we had received enough orders, but in Mr. Chen's eyes, these orders may not be anything. After all, These orders are all based on the customers provided by my master. You have to know that when my master was in the sales department, he alone placed a large order worth 1 million. But for us, with the customer sources given by my master, we only placed some small orders worth more than 100,000. Yet we are still complacent here. Mr. Chen is angry that we obviously have such a good source of customers but still don't work hard. Wu Yu opened his mouth to analyze, while also reflecting on himself. Indeed, in the past 2 days, they have been a little overwhelmed because they have received some orders. If they had gone out to run business a while ago, why would they still be in the sales department? Mr. Chen called them to the office, probably for this reason, and wanted to give them a beating. However, Mr. Chen was famous for being kind to his employees and giving them face, so he did not point it out to his face. The other 2 salesmen heard Wu Yu's analysis and nodded in agreement. They have indeed slacked off a bit these days. Several people looked at each other and then walked out of the business department. Started running business. In the office, Chen Mo was silent for a long time. Originally, there were only more than 3 million system funds left. After excluding the expenses for employees and organizing sports games, he only needed to spend more than 1 million system funds, but now, because of these salesmen, he had to spend more than 1 million yuan more. Why? Chen Mo let out a long sigh. There was nothing he could do about it. Should he ask the salesman to hand over the customers Wei Yan gave them and prevent them from using them? Chen Mo calmed down, took out another document and started to review and approve it. This is the canteen's purchasing expenses this week. However, when he finished approving the purchase order, a schedule below made him frown. Canteen retail lunch boxes. What the hell is this? With a puzzled expression, he opened the schedule and waited until he could see the contents clearly. Chen Mo fell into silence for once. It's okay for a rebellious guy to cause trouble, but you, the 6th child, are here to join in the fun, right? He really knows how to do business. You can sell me the leftovers from the canteen for more than 10,000 yuan in half a month. I really thank you. No wonder the canteen's purchasing expenses are much less than before. It turns out it's because of this. Chen Mo looked at the schedule of retail lunch boxes in the canteen, his face turned pale. These 2 people work together perfectly. One wants to make money for me, and the other wants to save money for me. Shenro, you don't have to go get food at noon today. I'll go to the cafeteria to eat. Chen Mo turned around and said to Shenro, who was working. He wanted to see how Li Shen sold the leftovers. Time passes. It was lunchtime soon. Chen Mo did not go directly to the canteen. Instead, he sat in the office for a while and waited until the employees in the canteen were almost done eating before going there. At about 12:20, Chen Mo and Shenro left the office and came to the staff restaurant. At this time, there were not many employees in the restaurant. Chen Mo looked around and went straight to the kitchen. Just approaching the kitchen, he saw Li Shen writing something in front of a window next to the kitchen. Seeing this, Chen Mo walked over. He wanted to see what this old man was doing. When he came behind Li Shen, he deliberately lowered his voice and did not attract Li Shen's attention. The other party was still lying on the windowsill writing. Chen Mo looked down and saw Li Shen writing on a piece of white paper. Today's dishes: braised spare ribs, sauced chicken wings, kung pao chicken, twice cooked pork. Just then, Wang Maonian came over with a cardboard box, saw Mr. Chen behind Li Shen, and hurriedly spoke. Mr. Chen, you are here. The food has been reserved. I will bring it over. No hurry. Chen Mo waved to Wang Maonian and prepared to continue watching Li Shen write. However, Li Shen was attracted by Wang Maonian's words and turned around. Seeing Mr. Chen behind him, he hurriedly spoke. Hello, Mr. Chen. Chen Mo glanced at Li Shen, then picked up the white paper with the cuisine written on it and spoke lightly. What is this for? Mr. Chen, employees from other factories will come here to sell lunch boxes. This is for them to see. Li Shen hurriedly explained after hearing this. Since they set up a stall at the entrance of the industrial park several times, their lunch boxes became popular, and he changed the location to the canteen window. Those who want to buy lunch boxes can go to the restaurant window to buy them. There are only 20 to 40 sets per day, first come first served. After half a month of exploration, the lunch boxes were sold out in an instant every day, which basically became a stable sales channel. So he made a plan for restaurant retail lunchboxes, and submitted it. Chen Mo was a little confused when he heard Li Shen's words. Just when he was about to say something, he saw many employees who had just got off work outside, running quickly from a distance. The target was obviously their restaurant. What's going on? Chapter 83. Li Shen has a big trick up his sleeve. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the employees running this way like crazy, Chen Mo was confused. What do these people want to do? They want to demolish his canteen. Li Shen at the window saw the crowd running towards him and quickly turned to look at Wang Maonian. Uncle Wang, are the lunch boxes ready? They are here. Okay, they are all in cardboard boxes. There are 31 boxes of vegetables and 36 boxes of lunch in total. Wang Maonian heard this and quickly answered. As he spoke, he placed the lunch box on the windowsill. On the other side of the window, someone had already rushed over. It was a young man. The young man slapped the money in his hand on the windowsill and shouted loudly. Brother Shen, I've been to Shifan. Why don't you take a look at the cuisine today? Li Shen picked up the money on the windowsill and counted it. It was exactly 150, and then pointed at the menu just posted on the window. Don't look at it, the food in your cafeteria is not bad. Li Shen smiled when he heard this, and together with Wang Maonian, he took out 10 boxes of vegetables and 10 boxes of lunch and put them in the bag he brought. However, before the young man finished buying, many people rushed over from behind, holding out their hands and handing the money to the window, shouting loudly. Give me 2. I want 1. I came first, I want 3 portions. Don't fucking squeeze me. It's me, Brother Shen. Give me 5 servings. About 5 or 6 minutes later, Li Shen threw the empty box aside, looked at the people surrounding the window, and shouted. It's gone. If you want to eat, come back tonight. After saying that, he closed the window directly. Chen Mo stood behind and stared at this scene dumbfounded. Are your own lunch boxes so popular? Li Shen sorted out the money he had just received from selling box lunches, came to Mr. Chen, and said nervously. Mr. Chen, I have used all the money from selling box lunches for the canteen's purchases. I promise not to leave a penny behind. Chen Mo watched Li Shen prove his innocence. The corner of his mouth trembled, and he waved his hand feebly. It doesn't matter, that what can he do? This guy is really thinking about the company. According to the sales speed just now, the loss is the leftover meals. If it is really converted into a restaurant and goes out to sell lunch boxes, I don't know how much money it will make. Chen Mo thought secretly in his heart, feeling a little lucky. I found a dining table and sat down. Wang Maonian also promptly placed the food he had reserved on the table, neatly, 6 dishes in total. You all should sit down. Chen Mo glanced at the people standing around and greeted, wait until a few people are seated. Then he looked at Li Shen, who was sitting opposite, and spoke calmly. Did you come up with this canteen retail plan? Yes, Mr. Chen. In fact, Uncle Wang has a lot of credit for this. Li Shen said with great loyalty that we share the blessings and share the hardships. With such a good opportunity to perform under Mr. Chen, how could he forget Wang Maonian, who had been helping him? Oh, Chen Mo nodded lightly, his eyes lingering on Li Shen and Wang Maonian. None of these 2 guys really made him worry. Just as he was about to say something, Li Shen spoke first. Mr. Chen, I have done some statistics these days, and among the people who come to us to buy lunch boxes, there is absolutely no problem in selling 200 lunch boxes a day. I thought for a while, I might as well ask Uncle Wang and the others to make more, and produce 200 more boxed lunches a day. If you sell all 200 copies, it will cost 3,000 yuan. You can sell them twice a day, and you can sell almost 6,000 yuan in one day. Now the cost of a day in the canteen is around 3,000 yuan, so we can still earn 3,000 yuan a day. In 1 month, our staff restaurant not only cost nothing, but also earned a little over 100,000 yuan. After Li Shen finished speaking, he looked at Mr. Chen expectantly. This was the biggest business opportunity he discovered when selling lunch boxes, but the main reason is that their food is delicious, and it is located in an industrial park, which saves those who want to buy fast food a long way to go. so these days, it is very popular among the workers in the park, and they often complain that 30 servings a day are too few. Chen Mo listened to Li Shen's words and paused while picking up the vegetables. In the end, he simply stopped eating and put his chopsticks directly on the table. He didn't expect that Li Shen, the sixth person, would actually hide such a big move. Not only did he save the cost of the canteen in a month, but he could also earn a small 100,000 yuan. Calculating here and there, he had 200,000 more system funds. Fortunately, I came here today and found it in time, otherwise, this old man would have to start a side job for him. Taking a deep breath, he looked at Li Shen and spoke slowly. Li Shen, I understand that you want to make money for the company. But you also have to think about other people. Look, if you make 200 more lunch boxes, will the workload fall on the canteen chefs? Although the company has made money in this way, is this fair to the people in the cafeteria? Mr. Chen, it's okay if our cafeteria is busy. After hearing what Mr. Chen said, Wang Maonian spoke at the right time. Li Shen mentioned this matter to him yesterday, and he also discussed it with several chefs in the cafeteria, and no one objected. After all, their work in the canteen is much easier than working in the hotel. Before, they worked in the hotel kitchen from morning to night, and the salary was not as high as that in the canteen. What's the problem with letting them work a little harder now? Hearing Wang Maonian suddenly speak, Chen Mo narrowed his eyes and turned to look at Wang Maonian. It seems that the morning run did not tire him out. He still has the energy to make 200 lunch boxes. This is a matter of principle. The canteen is the canteen. You only need to cook for the company's employees. So don't think about the 200 lunch boxes. It's a waste to throw away the leftovers. You can sell them and I won't care. However, selling lunch boxes is not what you should do after all. So starting from this month, the chefs in your canteen will get a salary increase of 1,000 yuan each, and the rest of the chores will get a salary increase of 500 yuan. And Li Shen also get a salary increase of 1,000 yuan. These are the labor fees for doing these things. Shenro, write this down and notify the finance department when you go back. Chen Mo turned his head and glanced at Shenro. He thought to himself, since you can make money, can't I spend money? Now there are 5 chefs and 6 chores in the canteen, and there are 2 cleaners now. One of them is Jiang Cheng's wife, and the other is the wife of Lu Pengtao's newly recruited shuttle driver, who just joined the company a few days ago. Adding Li Shen's words, I would spend more than 10,000 yuan a month. It's still less than selling lunch boxes. This won't do. Chapter 84, 5 more rounds of practice. The European Emperor is playing hard for Emperor Jiu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Mo frowned and thought for a moment, then continued to speak. Well, not only the canteen needs a salary increase, but other departments also need a salary increase. Those who have worked for more than a month, leaders above the team leader, will have a salary increase of 1,000, and other grassroots employees will have a salary increase of 500. Well, that's it. You go back and do the statistics. This time the salary increase policy also includes Tsunxue games. Okay, Mr. Chen. Shenro was stunned for a moment, then nodded quickly. Li Shen and Wang Maonian also opened their mouths in shock. This is a salary increase. Other companies are better and just give you a salary increase once a year, but with Mr. Chen, they give you a salary increase in just 1 month. Chen Mo ignored the shocked expressions of several people and began to eat with his head down. He finally spent what Li Shen earned and his appetite improved a lot. It's just a pity that he originally wanted to increase the salary of those newly hired employees, but the system gave a reminder that employees who have been employed for less than 1 month are not eligible for a salary increase if they do not have special talents. What a pity, otherwise, you can spend more. Lunch was finished soon. Chen Mo was about to get up and leave when he suddenly remembered that he almost forgot something and said to Shenro in front of Wang Maonian. There will be a sports meeting in a few days. Let's increase the amount of exercise in the morning. Let's run 15 laps starting tomorrow. After saying that, then he turned around and left. When he turned around, he glanced at Wang Maonian. Don't you have the stamina to make lunch? Then I'll let you run 5 more laps. Watch Mr. Chen leave. Wang Maoyan sat on the seat helplessly. He had just adapted to the rhythm of running 10 laps, so why did he suddenly add 5 more laps? Li Shen also sat silently aside. He was better than Wang Maoyan. After a long morning jogging, he could now run 10 laps without any problem, but the point is, who would want to run if they could rest? Why? In a certain rental house, a disheveled man was sitting in front of the computer and operating frantically. His eyes were red and bloodshot. He occasionally picked up the Red Bull on the table and took a sip. I don't know how long it took. The man slammed the keyboard, as if he had seen something incredible, and leaned his head in front of the computer screen to take a serious look, subsequently, laughed violently. It exploded. It took half a month and it finally exploded. Jiu looked at the equipment on the computer screen and shouted excitedly, he has been playing Wild Monsters in this game for half a month, and today a new piece of equipment finally dropped. After being happy for a while, Jiu showed off and sent a screenshot of the equipment to the union chat. Soon people started replying. Fuck, isn't this new equipment? Grandmas, I've been painting it for half a month, at least 10 hours a day, and not a single thing has exploded. As expected of Emperor Jiu, this is the first one in the union to reveal new equipment. Emperor O, this is the Emperor of O. I'll take a breath of European air. Jiu looked at the replies in the chat room and smiled with satisfaction, but after seeing O Huang's words, he stopped smiling. At first, he wanted to explode the equipment, but he didn't sleep for 2 days and 2 nights. On the 3rd day, he couldn't stand it anymore, so he started to sleep, but he only slept about 4 hours a day. That's all. That it took him half a month to grind out a piece of equipment. Is this really the European emperor? Jiu looked at her slovenly appearance, having not taken a shower for half a month, and fell into deep suspicion, but since the equipment has exploded, of course it has to be cashed out. Thinking of this, he quickly took out his cell phone and made a call. The call is connected. Jiu couldn't wait to speak. Brother Hao, I've exploded my equipment. A few exploded. Only one. There was silence on the other side of the phone for a moment before a voice came. Go to the game and trade the equipment to me. Okay, Brother Hao. In a luxurious villa, Chen Song hung up the phone, walked to the computer, and logged into the game. After a while of operation, the piece of equipment that Jiu exploded has already been worn on his game character. It is a pair of shoes. This is the first new piece of equipment he has owned in half a month. He thought he could get the equipment together in a day or two. After all, not only did people from the union brush equipment, he also contacted people from the studio, but after half a month, there was no movement at all in the studio. The first one to reveal the equipment was Jiu. I don't know what's going on at the studio. After thinking about it, I made a phone call. The call is connected. Before he could speak, a voice came from the other side. Brother Hao, I'm about to call you. What's going on? Chen Song asked with a frown as he listened to the words on the phone. Brother Hao, I'm afraid I can't take on this job. Mei Yuqian said with a sad face. At first, everyone in the studio went to Tianlong to brush equipment, but after 5 days of brushing, not a single piece of equipment exploded. It is impossible for the studio to have no income every day. He just smoked half of them and went to do other things. The remaining half of the people have been grinding for a few days, but they still haven't exploded their equipment. He drew half of it and did other work, and it has continued until now, and still no equipment has dropped. There is no way. He was about to tell Chen Song about this situation, but Chen Song called him first. Why can't you answer it? Are you short of money? Brother Hao, it's not a matter of money at all. The key is that the equipment drop rate is too low. At the beginning of my studio, all the staff brushed for 5 days, but none of them dropped. Brother Hao, I'm really sorry this time, but I have a lot of game groups, studio groups, and some game forums. I can help you advertise. Chen Song listened to Mei Yuqian's explanation with a surprised expression. He knew that the equipment drop rate was very low, but he didn't expect that the drop rate was so low that even the studio couldn't brush it out. But he still has to get back the place, and he can't just let it go. He thought about it and said. Then you help me advertise more. The more people know, the better. I will buy any new equipment at 30,000 yuan. Since the quality is not good, then win with quantity, Chen Song thought secretly, then opened his mobile phone and directly transferred 50,000 yuan to Jiang Jiu. This Jiang Jiu is worthy of the title of Ganjiuri. He actually got a piece of equipment that the studio couldn't get. I will transfer more to him and let him work harder. Yuqian Studio. Mei Yuqian hung up the phone, thought about it, and called everyone in the studio over. From today, Jianlong's equipment brushing task is cancelled. But you can contact other people to help you get equipment, such as friends, classmates, game groups, etc., and send more advertisements. I have 20,000 yuan for one piece of equipment. You can charge whatever you want. After talking about these things, Mei Yuqian came to his computer and entered the chat software. Chapter 85 Taking Advantage of the System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the chat software, he edited a paragraph of text and sent it to the game groups and game studio groups. Of course, some individual game gold-earning groups were also sent. Then, he opened Tieba again and sent the same message to several popular Tieba groups. After doing all this, Mei Yuqian sat back in his chair with a look of pain on his face. He originally wanted to finish this order by himself, but it was a pity that the explosion rate of the new equipment was too low. There was no other way. So he could only spread this news and make some profit. But when did the Tianlong game change to this? Didn't you get equipment by lottery before? He had an impression of Tianlong. It was a very popular game 2 years ago. Later, I don't know which idiot planner changed the game directly into a Krypton Gold game. As long as you have money, you will be better than others. This caused a large number of poor players to have a poor gaming experience, and almost all of them quit the game. Some wealthy local tyrants also began to choose to play other games because the number of players in the game was decreasing. The rest of the game are those newcomers who are not aware of it, and some old players who occasionally go online. It seems that this time Tianlong's game dealer is preparing for a major reform. I don't know if it can return to its former popularity. You can pay more attention to it in normal times. In the rental house, Jiang Jiu took a shower and walked out. He was a little tired after brushing equipment continuously these days. He planned to have a good sleep today and start fighting tomorrow, but when he picked up the phone and saw how GE's 50,000 transfer, he was stunned. He didn't expect that 20,000 yuan would suddenly increase to 50,000 yuan. Did he transfer it by mistake? Confused in his heart, he sent a message to ask. Soon he received several replies. Looking at the content of the reply, Jiang Jiu instantly became energetic. Hao Gu actually promised him that if the next equipment he didn't have, he would explode first, and it would all be 50,000 each. There is such a good thing. There is no need to sleep, just do it. He simply put on some clothes, went to the supermarket downstairs to buy a box of Red Bull, unpacked it and put it in the refrigerator, and then sat back in front of the computer. Garment factory. Chen Mo returned to the office and started to work on the sports meeting. Today is Monday, and the sports meeting will be held on Friday. After all, employees have holidays on Saturdays and Sundays, and their rest time cannot be occupied. Any welfare activities that occupy employees' rest time cannot be considered welfare activities. Of course, this can also reduce the production progress of the factory, which is simply killing two birds with one stone. Thinking of this, he directly called Shenro. The employee sports meeting will be held this Friday. You go find a gymnasium to rent. As for some other banner props, yes, there are also sportswear. Prepare them carefully and don't be afraid to spend money. After you make a schedule, let me take a look. Okay, Mr. Chen. Shenro responded. After arranging the time for the sports meeting, Chen Mo started to think again. To hold a sports meeting, it will definitely not cost much to rent a venue alone. The big part still needs those prizes to cover it. If you want to spend more money, of course the more prizes you get, the more you spend. Entertainment is secondary, and rewards are primary. Now Tsangshui Games and the clothing factory, including new and old employees, have more than 80 people. It's not too much to get more than 80 prizes. Thinking of this, Chen Mo directly opened the shopping software to see what prizes to buy. Finally checked, 15 mobile phones, 15 tablets, 15 laptops, 10 smart washing machines, 10 refrigerators, 10 air conditioners, and 10 TVs. He took a look at the total price of more than 380,000. Why is it so little? Chen Mo looked at the final total price and frowned slightly. 380,000 is not in line with his spending expectations at all. He has tested the system. With the current scale of the company, the cost of holding a sports meeting cannot exceed 1 million, and it cannot be held too frequently, limited to once a quarter. However, it cannot exceed 1 million, so he has to be infinitely close to 1 million. After thinking about it, he multiplied all the purchase quantities by 2. The original 85 prizes instantly became 170, and the price also increased from more than 380,000 to more than 760,000. After seeing the price this time, Chen Mo nodded with satisfaction. But how should these 170 prizes be distributed? According to the number of prizes, each company employee will get 2 prizes, and there will be a few more, soon. He came up with a plan. More sports events can be held, and each event will be held in 2 rounds, with 10 people participating in 1 round. Then it can be set up as a point system, with 10 points for the first place, and 1 point for the last place. Finally, the total points of all people participating in all sports events are counted, and the one with the highest score has the right to choose gifts first. Each person can choose up to 2 prizes. That's right, do it this way. This will ensure that all employees can get prizes. It can also motivate employees to actively participate in competitions. After all, the more competitions you participate in, the higher the points you have, so you can choose the prizes you like. Those with low points can only choose the ones that others choose. Thinking of this, Chen Mo's eyes suddenly lit up. Employees participated in the sports meeting. As the boss, he was also a member of the company. It was not too much to participate in the sports meeting. Then I participated in the sports meeting and accidentally won 2 prizes. It was also understandable. Chen Mo carefully tested the system. To his surprise, the system did not prompt a violation. This thing is feasible. Chen Mo's eyes were filled with tears. This Dogecoin system finally behaved like a human being. Since he could also participate in the sports meeting, this sports meeting had to be designed well. According to the point system just now, as long as he participated in an event, even if he was the last one and only had 1 point, he could get 2 rewards. As for getting the first point, Chen Mo had not thought about it. Now he just wanted to design a simple and not tiring competition project, and then symbolically participate in it and mix a point. Although he might choose a prize he didn't like in the final selection, he completely set a rule that prizes he didn't like could be exchanged for cash at an equivalent value. The price of these prizes is about 4,000 to 6,000 yuan. Even if I choose 2 cheap prizes, I can get about 10,000 yuan in cash. Adding my current personal funds, I will become a millionaire in an instant. Of course, I can buy some mobile phones and tablets to let those employees see the real things, which will also be more motivated. The rest is to design a competition project that is both easy and not tiring. Chapter 86. Your plan is not bold enough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Mo thought for a while and suddenly thought of a sports event, race walking. This project is good, just walk around and it doesn't require much physical strength. As for the distance, of course the shorter the better. Then let's do a 50-meter race walk. As long as you go up and take 2 symbolic steps, you can easily get the 2 rewards. Chen Mo smiled slightly. This was the first time he had gained advantage of the system. It was a good sign. With this success, he felt that the 8 million was already waving to him. The next morning, Chen Mo stood at the door of the workshop and watched the employees run in the morning. Li Shen, which lap is this? Wang Maonian breathed heavily and asked with difficulty. Lap 11. Ah. It's only 11 laps. I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Wang Maonian had despair in his eyes. There were still 4 laps left. How could he finish the race? Chen Mo finally felt comfortable looking at Wang Maonian's embarrassed appearance. I'm still thinking about making lunch boxes, but I'm tired of you. Morning run is over. Chen Mo returned to the office and was thinking of doing something when Chen Ro came over. Mr. Chen, this is the plan for the sports meeting. It has been prepared according to your requirements. Let me see. Chen Mo was surprised. He didn't expect that what he was told yesterday would be done today. I took the schedule and opened it to look at it. Then he frowned. Seeing this, Chen Ro asked nervously. Mr. Chen, do you have any questions? Yes, it's a big problem. Chen Mo looked up at Chen Ro and said seriously. Chen Ro hurriedly spoke after hearing this. Then I'll make it again. Wait a moment. When Chen Mo saw that Chen Ro was about to return to her workstation to make a new plan, she quickly stopped her. In fact, there is no problem with Chen Ro's plan if viewed normally, but it is a big problem for him. Chen Ro's entire plan revealed these 4 words. Affordable. How could this be possible? He only spent more than 760,000 yuan on gifts, so the plan required at least 200,000 yuan to meet his expectations, but Chen Ro's plan actually cost more than 50,000 yuan. Such a cheap solution definitely won't work. Your plan is not bold enough, it is too conservative. Keep. Chen Ro looked at Mr. Chen in confusion, not understanding what being conservative meant. Chen Mo looked at Chen Ro's confused eyes, then opened the plan and said. If you look at the rented stadium, it only costs 2,000 yuan a day. It is estimated that the facilities inside are not perfect, so it will definitely not work. Mr. Chen, I went to see this gymnasium after get off work last night. Both the venue area and the facilities are completely sufficient for the company to hold sports games. Chen Ro felt relieved when she heard that Chen Mo was conservative because she was worried about the venue. Last night, she visited several stadiums in a row, and there were some that were better than this one, but in terms of cost effectiveness, this one was just right. It's not enough to just have enough. The plan can't keep up with changes. If there are any changes, it won't be enough. So we must be fully prepared. I remember there is a very famous Yunfan Stadium in Jiangxing City. Go and see how much it costs. Mr. Chen, Yunfan Stadium needs 50,000 yuan a day. Chen Ro spoke carefully. She also knew about this gymnasium and had gone to understand it. Both the facilities and the area inside were top-notch. In terms of service, it is also very good, but after knowing the price, I gave up. Too expensive. It's him. When Chen Mo heard that it was going to be 50,000 yuan, he decided on it without even thinking about it. Does this consumption meet his expectations? Chen Ro didn't react for a moment. Mr. Chen decided that it was 50,000. Chen Mo ignored Chen Ro's fussy expression and continued to speak. The gymnasium has been decided, and the next step is to eat and drink during exercise. You must prepare enough water and drinks, and order lunch from a well-known restaurant to avoid making employees hungry. After food and drink are taken care of, the rest is staffing. With so many of us going to a sports meeting, we will definitely produce a lot of domestic waste. We have to clean it up ourselves, and we will definitely not have time. So we need to hire some day laborers to clean the sports hall at all times. Mr. Chen, in general sports halls, there will be cleaning staff responsible for cleaning. When Chen Ro heard that Mr. Chen wanted to hire a cleaner, she quickly said, there is no need to spend the money. Chen Mo's expression paused, he looked at Chen Ro seriously, exhaled and said. You have to consider that we are hosting a sports meeting with more than 80 people, so the stadium's cleaning staff may be overwhelmed. We hire cleaning staff not for others, but for ourselves to have a clean and tidy competition environment. When Chen Ro heard Chen Mo's preaching, she lowered her head in shame. It turned out that Mr. Chen was so thoughtful. Chen Ro, you have to work harder, cheer yourself up secretly. When Chen Mo saw that Chen Ro didn't refute, he nodded with satisfaction. An obedient assistant is a good assistant. Keep talking. We have cleaning, but we also need some security guards to maintain order. After all, we have sports games, and people will inevitably come to watch the excitement, so someone needs to maintain order. There are also sports hosts and referees for the competitions. If our company's employees do these, it would be too unprofessional. Since we are holding a sports meeting, we must be more professional so that we can experience the fun of competition. Finally, we need to invite several professional photographers to shoot our sports meeting from beginning to end. After all, this is the first formal event of our company, so we naturally need to take some souvenirs. When the time comes, we will make a commemorative film and distribute it to every employee. And the banners you designed, this one is to work together to create brilliance, and this one is to make great plans and become bigger and stronger, which are too official and not good. Change it to. Forget it, I will write it for you later. That's about it. In short, you have a total budget of 220,000. As long as you spend all the 220,000 budget, it will be a qualified plan. Okay, that's all, take it back and change it. Chen Mo said, and put the plan in Chen Ro's hand. Chen Ro looked at the plan in her hand, and thought of what Mr. Chen had just said, that if all 220,000 yuan was spent, it would be a qualified plan, and she was a little dazed. This is 220,000 yuan. Mr. Chen is really willing to spend money on his employees. She returned to her workstation and began to rewrite the plan according to Mr. Chen's requirements. The recruitment of hosts, referees, etc. still needed to be discussed. As for the purchase of water, beverages, etc., Li Shen could handle it. Not long after, Mr. Chen sent the changed banner slogan. Chen Ro looked over curiously, wanting to know what good slogan Mr. Chen came up with, but after seeing the content clearly, she was stunned. Chapter 87, Living a Life That Makes People Hate You. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The slogan sent by Mr. Chen are: Work is precious, but health is more important. Effective work is about combining work and rest. Why do these slogans seem to be trying to persuade employees to give up? It shouldn't be. Maybe Mr. Chen is worried that employees are too tired from work and should take care of their health. Mr. Chen is still as good to employees as ever. Chen Ro thought to herself and wrote down these slogans. After Chen Mo sent the slogans to Chen Ro, he smiled slightly. The slogans were so obvious, and those employees should be able to understand what he meant. It's better to work hard for him every day and take a break. He opened the Tianlong game happily. He hadn't played it for several days. He had been thirsty for a long time without playing for a few days. Looking at the dragon-slaying sword in the game character, he couldn't wait to control the character to kill in the wild. Not far away, he saw a man killing wild monsters. Without thinking, he chopped it down with a knife and sent it back to the blood pool. Then he rushed to other places. Not long after, 2 more people became his dead souls. This feeling of killing everything in seconds is really good. No wonder the rich guy likes to kill people in the wild. It turns out that this is the feeling, alas. After all, he has become the person he hates the most. Chen Mo sighed secretly and continued to control the character and continued to hunt in the wild. I am lucky today. In the past, it was good to meet 1 or 2 people for so long, but today I met 5 people. Could it be that these 2 game updates have attracted some old players to return? Looking at the levels of those people just now, they are all high, so they should be those old players. Thinking of this, Chen Mo suddenly became nervous. These old players will not recharge money. Thinking of his 100,000 sets of equipment, if these old players really buy 1 or 2 sets, wouldn't it be a loss? No, I have to ask. Chen Mo quickly picked up his phone and called Fong Chang. Mr. Chen, are you looking for me? The call was connected, and Fong Chang's voice came over. Chen Mo didn't say anything more and asked directly. Has anyone bought the equipment that costs 100,000 yuan recently? Mr. Chen, except for the 3 sets sold at the beginning, no one has bought the equipment. Fong Chang answered without thinking when he heard Mr. Chen's question. During this period, because the number of online players of Tianlong was gradually increasing, he had been paying attention to it, so he was very familiar with the current situation of Tianlong. After thinking about it, he was about to talk about the changes in Tianlong, and heard a beep. Hang up. What's wrong? Wei Yan sat aside and saw Fong Chang's hesitation, so he asked. Oh, Mr. Chen just called to ask if anyone has bought the 100,000 yuan weapon in Tianlong recently. I just answered and the phone hung up. I was going to report the changes in Tianlong. Fong Chang smiled bitterly and was hesitating whether to call back to report. Wei Yan spoke at the right time. There is no need to report such a small matter. Mr. Chen has to manage 2 companies alone and is very busy. If the number of online users really increases one day and the game returns to a profitable state, it will not be too late to report. It is meaningless to report these things now, and Mr. Chen has an internal account of the game. He probably knows more about the situation inside than we do. He called today, probably to remind us from the side to pay more attention to the game Tianlong. Fong Chang heard Wei Yan's analysis and felt it made sense. No wonder Wei Yan is so valued by Mr. Chen. He was promoted directly from a salesperson to the position of office director. He understands Mr. Chen's underlying meaning so well. If he doesn't value him, should he value others? After reading this, I have to use my brain more and try to understand Mr. Chen's meaning behind it. In the clothing factory office, Chen Mo hung up the phone and finally breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that he didn't charge money, so he continued to kill people in the game with confidence. Not long after, Chen Mo found a familiar game ID in the distance who was brushing the jungle. Gone Jody. Isn't this the follower of that rich man? He had provoked him before, dare to come out to brush the jungle. Don't you take me seriously? Chen Mo didn't think about it and directly controlled the game character to kill him. One knife killed instantly. In the rental house, Jiu looked at the gray death interface with a confused face. He was concentrating on brushing the jungle. Why did he die suddenly? I can't figure it out, but brushing the jungle is important. He felt that his equipment was about to explode, so he thought about spending a diamond to revive on the spot, but just after resurrection, before brushing the jungle, the screen turned gray again. He was killed again, but this time Jiu finally saw who the murderer was. Shui Luo. Isn't this the game agent? Looking at the game character with the ID, Shui Luo, standing next to his own body, with no intention of leaving, it is obvious that he is guarding the body. This is too much. Let you be arrogant for a while, and wait for Brother How to collect all the equipment, and sooner or later, you will get revenge. Jiu gritted his teeth, and finally chose not to revive on the spot. Since the corpse was already guarded there, he had to switch to other wild monsters to brush other equipment. He made up his mind to sleep for 3 hours in the future and help Brother How collect all the equipment as soon as possible. In the office, Chen Mo saw that the other party had not resurrected on the spot, and knew that the other party had chosen to return to the city. Since he could not guard the corpse, he thought about it and quit the game directly. Dong dong dong. The office door was suddenly knocked. After answering, Tang Qiu pushed the door and walked in, and handed the documents in his hand directly to Chen Mo. Mr. Chen, this is the popularization of law plan I prepared, please take a look. Oh, Chen Mo picked up the popularization of law plan and thought to himself why his employees were so efficient. It has only been a few days, and the tasks he assigned have been completed. Can't you just slack off and let me worry less? Reluctantly, she opened the legal education plan, glanced at it, and then closed it directly and gave it back to Tang Qiu. Okay, let's promote it like this. You ask the workshop director to coordinate some legal education time. Remember that legal education time cannot occupy the employee's rest time. Okay. Tang Qiu looked at the legal education plan in her hand, a little absent-minded. It was passed so easily. Didn't they point out a few deficiencies and then let her go back to revise it? She had written many plans in the law firm before, but none of them were easily passed. Even if it was a good plan, there would be a wording that the layout was not good and needed to be adjusted. Anything else? Chen Mo looked at Tang Qiu who was standing still and asked in confusion. Chapter 88 The sports meet officially begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Qiu came back to her senses, responded quickly, and left the office. Looking at the office door closed behind her, she still felt a little unreal. She thought that after the popularization of law was completed, Mr. Chen should arrange some other tasks or something, but the popularization of law plan was easily passed, and Mr. Chen did not arrange any new tasks. What should I do next? Find the workshop director to coordinate the work, then what? Go home to work. But there are no other arrangements. Does he just stay at home? Opening the phone and looking at the transfer record of 1 million, Tang Qiu fell into deep thought. What should I do? Time passed quickly. And it was Friday soon. Chen Mo sat at his desk, looking at the performance report sent by Wu Yu in the morning. My mood instantly fell to the bottom, order after order. The guys in the business department were like chicken blood. In the past few days, they brought him more than 500,000 orders. Just yesterday, the finance department had already paid the employees' wages for next month. After counting the monthly taxes, water and electricity bills and other miscellaneous expenses of the two companies, nearly 1 million system funds were spent. However, with the help of these salesmen, he actually still had more than 3.1 million system funds. Mr. Chen, the employees are ready, it's time to go. Shenro came over and spoke softly. Today is the time for the company to hold a sports meeting. The employees outside have arrived and are waiting to go. Hearing Shenro's words, Chen Mo temporarily suppressed the issue of system funds. but it was not a solution for the business department to sign orders like this, so he had to think of a solution. Okay, let's go. Chen Mo nodded, got up and walked out of the office. When he came to the outside of the workshop, the company's employees were already standing at the door in a neat row, wearing neat sportswear with the words Changfeng clothing engraved on them, and everyone was wearing a pure white cap on their heads. These sportswear were made by the workshop itself, and they looked pretty good at this time. In front of the team, an employee was holding a flag with the company name. There were 2 drones in the sky filming the scene at the moment. They should be the cameras hired by Chen Mo. Li Shen. Chen Mo looked at Li Shen, who was not far away, and called him Mr. Chen. Li Shen ran over quickly. Have you purchased all the things I asked you to buy? Mr. Chen has already purchased them. All of them were purchased according to your requirements. Half of the mobile phones and computers have been purchased and put in the car. As for other prizes that are not physical objects, they have been made into plastic sealed coupons with the name and price of the prize marked. When the time comes, you can exchange the prize or cash with the coupons. Chen Mo nodded and spoke lightly. Okay, let's go. Li Shen took the order and quickly arranged for the employees to enter the bus one after another. When all the employees entered the bus, Chen Mo also entered the company's business car, and Yang Dehai drove behind the bus. At the same time, the employees of Tsangshui Games were all wearing sportswear made by the garment factory and lined up neatly under the office building. Wei Yan and Fang Chang stood at the front of the team, talking about something. There were also 2 drones in the air. Recording, not long after, all the employees of Tsangshui Games also entered a bus on the roadside one after another. Yunfan Gymnasium. At the entrance of the gymnasium, a semicircular inflatable arch reads warmly congratulate Changfeng Garment and Tsangshui Games for coming to Yunfan Gymnasium to hold a sports meeting. What are the backgrounds of these 2 companies? They held an employee sports meeting and made it so grand. I don't know much. I only know that the boss of these 2 companies is the same person. This boss is really willing to spend money. You see the dozen referees in the distance, as well as the cleaners and security guards. I asked around and found out that they were all hired by the person who held the sports meeting. 2 men and women dressed as hosts stood at the door of the gymnasium and talked quietly. Not long after, a large bus slowly stopped at the entrance of the gymnasium, and then employees in sportswear walked down in an orderly manner. Everyone line up, take out the banners and slogans, and take a photo for everyone. Wei Yan got off the bus and saw that the people from the garment factory had not arrived yet, so he organized the employees to line up at the entrance of the gymnasium and take photos. As the team stood in line, a cameraman hurriedly carried a camera to the front to take photos. After the photo was taken, the people from the garment factory haven't arrived yet, you can move freely first. Wei Yan greeted them and walked straight to the 2 hosts at the door. You 2 are the hosts of today's sports meeting. What are your names? My name is Yifeng, her name is Chen Xian. Are you Mr. Chen? The male host hurriedly introduced himself, and then looked at Wei Yan in confusion. They only knew that the boss of the company was surnamed Chen, and they didn't know what he looked like. Oh, the boss hasn't arrived yet. I'll trouble you, the office director of my company Tsangshui Games, to host the sports meeting later. Don't worry, we are professionals and we guarantee that your sports meeting will be a complete success. Yifeng assured confidently. Although they are not famous hosts, they are all graduates of broadcasting and hosting majors from prestigious universities. In the small circle of hosts, there are still some famous ones. Moreover, they are also a husband and wife team, and they have a good understanding. Wei Yan smiled slightly and waited at the door, and this scene gradually attracted the attention of many passers-by. The staff sports meeting looks very interesting. I wonder if I can go in and take a look. It seems quite formal. The 2 people at the door should be the hosts. There are many referees in the distance. Didn't you notice those banners? Among the spectators, a man pointed at the banner held by employees and said, some people heard the man's words and looked over. Work is precious, and health is even more precious. Effective work lies in the balance between work and rest. When you are tired from work, don't force it. It will be bad for your body if you are tired. I'll go, this banner is interesting. These employees are so naughty. If their boss sees such a banner, he will be so angry that he vomits blood. Ha ha ha, I really want to see their boss's expression when he sees these banners. About 10 minutes passed, another bus drove over and stopped at the entrance of the stadium. The same group of employees wearing sportswear walked down. When Wei Yan saw the bus approaching, he hurried to greet it. Soon the employees of the two companies stood together neatly. After taking a few photos, they entered the stadium in an orderly manner. After entering the gymnasium, the host held the game plan made by Chen Mo in his hand and began to get into the mood. The sports meeting has officially begun. Since competitions are based on a point system and prize incentives, most employees actively participate in various competitions. Some people even signed up for a total of 16 sports in order to have priority. Of course, there were some employees who did not want to sign up, including Ant Dong, Chen Mo, Tang Qiu, Wei Yan, etc., but they all signed up for one or two projects under his compulsion. If he didn't sign up, wouldn't he have to give out a lot of gifts? How could that be done? Chen Mo sat leisurely in the stands and watched the passionate competition of many employees. The competition proceeds in an orderly manner with the cooperation of the host and referee. Soon, a game is over. Yifeng took the microphone and announced the next competition event. The next event is 50-meter walk. Chapter 89. Do you think President Chen is short of these two prizes? You are listening at novelfull.audio. But when he read the 50 meters, even though he had known about it before, he almost couldn't control his expression. It was the first time he heard that there was a 50-meter race walk. There will be an important person participating in this sport, that is our boss, Mr. Chen. Let's invite Mr. Chen to enter. As the host's voice fell, all the cameramen and the 4 aerial cameras in the air focused on Chen Mo in the stands, and warm applause rang out in the stadium. Chen Mo walked down when the host called his name. Because he was wearing sportswear, he didn't need to change into sportswear. And it was just a 50-meter race walk, so there was no need to worry about sweating. What's more, he was just going through the motions and coming back after getting some points. It's not that he didn't want the priority choice, but he wanted to get the first place in points. He didn't know how tired he would be, and it was not worth it, and all in all, it was only about 2,000 yuan at most. When the settlement was settled and 8 million was in hand, he would still be short of these 2,000 yuan, which was really a joke. When they walked to the stadium, the other race walkers were ready. Chen Mo looked carefully and found that they were all familiar faces: Wei Yan, the trader; Li Shen, the sixth; Wang Maonian, Wu Yu from the business department; Fang Chang from Sang Xue. Among these people, except Wu Yu, almost all the others were forced to participate in the competition. Unexpectedly, they all chose the 50-meter race walk. Hello, Mr. Chen. As soon as he walked in, the voices of those people were very uniform, as if they had discussed it. Chen Mo nodded and walked to the competition position. The contestants participating in the 50-meter race walk have arrived, and the referee is in place. The competition will start as soon as the order is given. Let's look forward to who will be the champion of this race walk. The two hosts cooperated in the stands and explained. Bang! A gunshot. The competition has begun. Let's see who is the first place. It's Mr. Chen. I didn't expect Mr. Chen to be so good at managing the company and also rank among the best in sports. Mr. Chen not only keeps the first place, but also moves in an orderly manner and walks leisurely on the track. He is worthy of being Mr. Chen. On the track, after hearing the gunshot, Chen Mo walked out slowly. Anyway, he didn't want to take the first place, so he took it as easy as possible, but after walking a few steps, he felt something was wrong. He looked left and right, but no one walked in front of him. He looked back in confusion, and saw that Li Shen and the other 6 were neatly following him 1 meter away. And everyone's face showed an expression of walking very hard. Chen Mo's mouth twitched. These 6, can't they act any more fake? At this time, the scene on the track, those who knew it knew that it was a race walking competition, and those who didn't know it thought that a boss was leading a group of younger brothers for a walk. 50 meters passed in a flash. Chen Mo finally finished this short race, and couldn't help sighing in his heart. A good race walking competition turned into a group walk. Congratulations to Mr. Chen for winning the first place in the race walking. Achieved a score of 1 minute and 9 seconds. The host Yi Feng announced loudly on the stage. Chen Mo paused, glanced at Li Shen and others lightly, and then walked back to the stands. Master, Mr. Chen seems to be a little unhappy. Wu Yu stood beside Wei Yan and asked worriedly. What do you know? That's not unhappy, it's serious. The employees of both companies are here. If Mr. Chen doesn't act more serious, how can he manage the company in the future? Oh, Wu Yu listened to Wei Yan's words, nodded slowly, and felt that there was some truth. Then he thought of something and spoke. Master, you just said that you should give face to the boss in the competition. Should I give my priority to Mr. Chen and let him choose the gifts first? Will this give Mr. Chen more face? He signed up for all the competitions, and because of his young age and morning exercises every day, he basically booked the first place in the standings. Wei Yan shook his head when he heard this. You are not giving face to Mr. Chen, you are tearing down Mr. Chen. Do you know why Mr. Chen prepared these gifts? Mr. Chen wants to use this sports meeting and the generous prizes to enhance the cohesion and sense of belonging of the employees. Those gifts are purchased for all employees to let everyone experience the company's generous benefits and enhance their loyalty to the company. Tell me, if there is another company that offers you a salary 10% higher than your current salary and wants to recruit you, will you go there? But when Wu Yu heard Wei Yan's question, he refused without thinking. The company is so good to him, and there are so many hidden benefits. Only a fool would change jobs. You see, this is exactly what Mr. Chen wants. You don't think Mr. Chen is participating in the competition for those two gifts, right? With Mr. Chen's wealth, he can buy as many electrical appliances as he wants. Mr. Chen is participating in the competition just to feel the atmosphere of the competition, and we just need to cooperate appropriately. Wei Yan patiently taught, and his cheap apprentice still needs experience. I understand, master. Wu Yu said with gratitude, and sighed in his heart. Thanks to asking the master, he almost made a mistake. Chen Mo returned to the stands, and the competition continued below. In this way, the sports meeting lasted until about 2 p.m. before all the competition items were completed. Next was the final award ceremony. The host stood on the stage and announced. So far, all the items of this sports meeting have been competed. Next is the award ceremony that everyone has been looking forward to. The ranking is still being counted. Wait 2 minutes. After Yi Feng finished speaking, he saw several company employees moving a few tables and placing them next to him. He knew that these tables should be used to place prizes, and he was also a little curious about what prizes this company would give to employees. At this time, he found that Mr. Chen also came over from the stands, and hurried to greet him. Hello, Mr. Chen. Well, it's hard to host for a day. Chen Mo looked at Yi Feng and said politely. In general, the business ability of this couple of hosts is still good, and the entire sports meeting did not seem boring. Mr. Chen is polite. We have received money, so we naturally have to make the sports meeting more lively. Yi Feng smiled. Soon he saw several employees carrying 2 cardboard boxes. Yi Feng looked at the size of the 2 cardboard boxes, which didn't look very big. They should be small gifts, he guessed. However, as a boss, it is already very good to be able to do this for the company's employees. How many companies can't even hold such an event, let alone prizes? Chapter 90. This boss is serious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hello, here are the award rules. You can take a look. Shen Ro came over at this time and handed the written award rules to Yi Feng. Yi Feng took over the award rules, looked at them carefully, and his expression soon solidified. He originally thought that the top 3 in points, or the top 10, and the top 20 would be awarded awards, but the award rules told him that was not the case at all. From the first place to the last place, there are actually prizes, and there are 2 of them. The 2 companies combined have more than 80 employees. And each person needs more than 160 prizes. But can those 2 small cardboard boxes hold those prizes? If they were all small pendants, it would be possible. Yi Feng thought in his mind and turned to look at the table where the prizes were placed. He was just stunned when he saw the square packaging box. He knew the packaging box very well. He had just bought a new domestic mobile phone 2 days ago, and the highest configuration cost more than 6,000 yuan. The prize here actually includes a mobile phone, and as employees placed their phones on the table, they were divided into 3 piles. He simply counted and found that there were 15 units, which cost more than 90,000 yuan. This boss must be too willing to spend money to prepare such expensive gifts for his employees. Yi Feng was shocked, but before he could recover, he saw the employee taking out a square packaging box from the cardboard box, but this packaging box was much larger than the mobile phone. Although he didn't get close to take a look, he could still clearly see that it was a tablet computer. This tablet was of the same brand as the previous mobile phone. He also learned that one costs more than 4,000 yuan. Counting the number, there are also 15 units, which is more than 60,000 yuan. The total is already more than 150,000. Yi Feng continued to watch, wanting to see what other valuable items the employees could bring out, but he only saw that the employees finally took out a stack of plastic-wrapped papers and put them on the table. It seems that the mobile phones and tablets should be the grand prizes given to the sports meeting. There are 30 pieces in total, which are awarded to the top 15 employees in the sports meeting. The remaining pieces of plastic wrap should be the consolation prize. Yi Feng guessed in his mind that he had hosted many annual meetings of large companies, but it was still very rare for Mr. Chen to spend more than 100,000 yuan to award awards to employees. The rankings have been calculated and this is the list. Chen Xian came back from a distance. She had just been waiting for the ranking results from the referee. Give it to me, these are the award rules, take a look. Yi Feng took the rankings, gave the award rules to his wife, and then walked to the awards table with the rankings. Now that the rankings have come out, naturally there will be awards. When he came to the award table, he lowered his head and looked at the plastic-wrapped pieces of paper curiously. He wanted to see what these consolation prizes were, but after seeing the writing on those plastic sheets of paper, I froze in place. His wife Chen Xian, who had also just read the award rules, was stunned when she saw the prizes on the table. The couple stared blankly at the plastic-wrapped paper on the table. A domestic mobile phone of XX brand. The price is 6188. A XX brand refrigerator costs 3,998. A XX brand TV costs 4,299. Yi Feng looked at these plastic-sealed papers and had a bold guess. In his mind, maybe, turning around, I found Mr. Chen walking over and asked tentatively. Mr. Chen, what do these plastic-wrapped lottery tickets mean? Literally speaking, these prizes are difficult to move after they are bought, so only some of them are small in size. The others are temporarily made into lottery tickets. After the sports meeting, employees can use the lottery tickets to receive their awards. After hearing Yi Feng's question, Chen Mo explained. This. Yi Feng opened his mouth, not knowing how to express his current mood. He glanced at the lottery tickets, but none of them were less than 3,000 yuan. Each of the more than 80 employees had 2 tickets, which must be at least 500,000 to 600,000 yuan. What kind of company is this? And this boss, it's incredible how he can do this for his employees. Well, let's award the award quickly. Looking at Yi Feng who was stunned, Chen Mo reminded him. Good. Yi Feng heard the sound and quickly came to his senses. After sorting out his situation, he started awarding awards. The competition rankings have come out. Next, I will call the names and come up one by one to pick the prizes. The employees not far away showed excitement when they heard the host's words. They knew what the prizes were and had been looking forward to the award ceremony for a long time. The first place in the competition is Wu Yu. Wu Yu is invited to come on stage to choose the prize. Wu Yu heard the host's words and quickly walked to the podium. Please pick 2 prizes. The host looked at Wu Yu and said with a smile. Wu Yu wandered around the table for a while and quickly selected the prize. First he took a mobile phone and then a lottery ticket with a laptop written on it. Looking at the 2 prizes in his hands, Wu Yu looked very excited. The 2 prizes together cost more than 10,000 yuan. At this time, a sports meeting allowed him to get it without spending any money. Being an employee of Mr. Chen is such a blessing, Wu Yu thought in his mind, looked at Mr. Chen aside, and mustered up the courage to say. Mr. Chen, can I take a photo with you? Looking at Wu Yu's expectant eyes, Chen Mo thought about it and didn't have the heart to refuse. He came to the podium, stood with the other party, and the photographer took a few photos. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Wu Yu bowed to thank him. Chen Mo looked at Wu Yu, who thanked him seriously and wanted to say something. The biggest thank you is to give me fewer orders. After Wu Yu received the award, the second-place employee of the competition also began to go on stage to receive the award. Chen Mo glanced at the employee who came on stage to receive the award and didn't have any impression. But the words Zhangxue Game were printed on the sportswear, so he should be a new employee of Zhangxue Game. Su Yuan walked up to the podium nervously. He had just joined the company for half a month and caught up with the sports meeting. I thought it was just a simple sports meeting, and everyone would play for a while and it was over. As for other employees saying that the prizes included mobile phones and computers, he didn't take it seriously at all. It's not like he just entered the company's workplace, and he has encountered many things like bosses drawing big cakes. It was good enough to have a 50 yuan phone bill voucher for a mobile phone and a computer. However, looking at the mobile phone and tablet in his hand, he found that he was wrong. The boss was serious. This company is really good. I must perform well. Looking at Mr. Chen, he thanked him and quickly left the stage. The award ceremony continued, and one employee after another came on stage to receive the award. Soon the award ceremony was coming to an end. The host Yi Feng looked at the next award recipient. The next award recipient is... Yi Feng's voice paused slightly, and then he shouted loudly.